In today's video, I want to share 7 self-care practices with you that you can integrate into your day-to-day in order to maximize your workday. I know that all of you have heard of self-care before. I know that all of you know in general that self-care is important. But you constantly ask yourself the question, how am I going to integrate time for myself when I am so busy at work? And the very first thing that we cut out of our busy work lives is the time that we invest in ourselves, because that's the easiest time to cut out, right? But I can tell you from my own personal experience and from working with many people is that the biggest mistake that you can make is to really cut out your own self-care time. Because if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't invest in recharging your own batteries, how are you going to stay performant? How are you going to stay focused? How are you going to stay motivated? How are you going to help other people if you don't have energy for yourself? I did do a podcast episode on the biggest mistake I see people make, and I did create a new YouTube channel for you where you can find all of my previous podcast episodes. So I will link it here in the video. Make sure to check out that podcast episode and make sure, of course, to subscribe to my new YouTube channel as well. But today I want to share with you 7 self-care practices that have been proven to be super effective, and I hope that you will integrate one or the other item into your day. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia Arndt, and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer. And I'm really excited that you are here today in order to learn about different tools that you can integrate into your life to take care of yourself in order to be more productive at work. Because the secret is that you need to invest time in yourself in order to be more productive in your day-to-day. So before we are jumping into the specific 7 practices that I want to share with you today, the very first important item is that you are starting to become aware around when you need self-care. And here's the first tip. Everybody needs self-care every single day. And very often we think we do not have time every single day to practice self-care, because in our minds we think it needs to be an hour or 2 in order to really fully recharge. And that is not correct. It is really important that you learn from this video today that no matter how much time you invest in yourself on a day-to-day basis, it is better than not investing time in yourself at all. So even if it's just 5 minutes at the beginning, or 10 minutes, or 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, which will also accumulate to maybe 20 or 30 minutes throughout the day. That is 30 minutes more than you did before, okay? So self-care doesn't have to be much as long as you do it mindfully. This is really important. And it is important that you integrate self-care where you need it the most, right? In order to recharge and in order to be fresh, for example, for the new and next task that you need to take care of for your workday. So the first important thing, as I just mentioned, is that you need to be really clear on your early warning signals. So what are the signals that your body and mind are giving you that indicate that you might need to take a break because you are feeling already a little bit more overworked? Those could be so many different things. It could be that you feel unmotivated, that you feel bored, unfocused, tired, overwhelmed, anxious, depressed. It could be that you're feeling physically tired, that you have some aches in your body. Maybe you have been sitting on a table, on your chair for the whole day. Or you have migraines, you have headaches because you have been working so hard and you have been trying to focus so hard that it is really difficult for you to keep on going. So all of these signals are indicators for you to take a break and to practice some self-care, okay? So really important, first of all, of course, you need to know when to practice self-care, and those signals that your body and mind are giving you are good indicators to do so. So now let's jump into the 7 items, the 7 practices that I want to share with you today in order to help you practice self-care on a day-to-day basis. Self-care item tip number 1. take a nap. I'm sure that you know exactly the situation. When you're starting to feel overwhelmed and tired and distracted, you take your phone in your hand and you start scrolling through social media. Or you are going to go on the couch and you lay down and you watch a couple of hours of TV because you feel absolutely exhausted. What a lot of you don't understand is that it is a lot more powerful to completely disconnect from all of the devices for 15 to 20 minutes in order to fully recharge your body. Sleep has been proven to be the most powerful stress management tool and the most powerful tool to recharge your batteries. So the next time when you're feeling tired, I encourage you to go and lay down for 15 or 20 minutes instead of taking your phone, or to remind yourself that when you are taking your phone or when you're watching TV, that it would be so much more helpful for you to actually close your eyes and relax your whole system. And now that you are working from home, there should be time for you to do that because you are the creator of your own schedule. And if you don't believe that, I highly encourage you to check my time management course that I created for you. It's a 5-day free email course that gives you really specific tips on how to start creating time for yourself. Self-care item number 2. Go outside. If you know me and if you are following me on Instagram, you know that I am going outside every single day, at least twice. No matter what the weather is, no matter if it's snowing, no matter if it's raining, no matter if it's gray outside or sunny or hot, I am going outside because we are sitting inside all day long most of the time, especially if you have a job at a company or if you're an entrepreneur and you're working in front of your computer, it is pretty likely that you are spending a lot of time inside. And sometimes we forget how powerful it is to go outside and to recharge our batteries that way. There's a lot of studies that have been proven that even if you just go outside for 20 minutes a day, it really resets your system. It is super, super powerful and you get natural sunlight, you breathe, you move your body. There's so many different advantages to going outside on a daily basis that I really highly encourage you to start integrating that into your day-to-day life. And even if you just have 10 minutes in between one meeting to the next, why don't you just go outside? It doesn't have to be much. You don't have to look pretty or you don't have to take care of yourself. Just put on your shoes and step outside the door and move your body, even if it is just for 5 minutes at the start, to really reboot it and to make sure that you are going back to work focused and motivated. Self-care tip number 3. Drink enough water. This is so simple, and yet so many of you are not doing it because we are just sitting at our desk and we completely forget that we need to stay hydrated. About 75% of your brain is made up of water. So if you don't have enough water in your system, it is going to be really, really hard for your brain to focus. And also, even though your brain only makes 2% of your body composition, it uses 20% of your body's energy. That's a lot of energy, right? So you need to make sure that your brain stays hydrated. Have a bottle of water next to your desk or have a glass next to your desk. Set yourself a goal to drink enough water throughout the day in order to make sure that you don't forget that, because we do like to forget that we need to drink water on a regular basis. Self-care tip number 4, center your thoughts. We are so overwhelmed on a day-to-day basis because there's so many things that are happening in our lives. We are getting emails on an hourly, sometimes minute-to-minute basis. We are having multiple meetings throughout the day. We are interacting with different people. We are on social media. Our thoughts are a little bit all over the place. So it is really, really important that you are creating some practices in your day-to-day life as well to center your thoughts and to really disconnect from everything, to make sure that you're really clear still on what is important for you. So in order to center your thoughts, for example, you can journal, you can meditate, or simply really disconnect from your devices in order to make sure that you just take time for yourself instead of always giving energy out to other people, because that's exactly what you are doing. And the most important person that you should invest time in is you, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You need to take care of yourself. You should be your highest priority, and the way of how you're scrolling through social media or how you take care of other people, this is how much you should at least take care of yourself. So make sure that you center your thoughts, that you are really clear on what is important to you, what are your values, what has happened today, and use that in order to recenter yourself. Self-care tip number 5. Exercise. If you are looking for more energy, I highly encourage you to integrate some kind of exercise almost daily. Of course, we already talked about going outside, and you might think, well, isn't that the same thing? And it is and it isn't. I think it is great if you go outside, because that is really important and that is already some form of exercise. But you also know that it is really, really healthy to get your heart rate up a little bit and to really use your physical body to exert some energy. Because sometimes we are super, super tired and exhausted mentally, but physically we are not. And you might know this because maybe sometimes you're laying in bed at night and you feel super exhausted mentally, but your body is totally on because you haven't moved your body. So in order to kind of give yourself a boost of energy, but also in order to help you sleep better at night and really have your whole system be at the same level, I highly encourage you to test out exercise. And you can do whatever you want to do and whatever you like to do. It doesn't have to be going into the gym. It could be going for a run, going for a bike ride, going swimming, yoga, dancing. All of these different things are all counting as exercise, and you should have fun with it. So think about what you like to do in order to exercise and move your body, and start to integrate that maybe even at least 2 to 3 times into your work week in order to boost your energy levels and feel more productive at work. Self-care tip number 6, celebrate your wins. You are super critical and you always strive to be better. So you always write lists of things that you want to improve on, that are still outstanding and that you need to take care of. Have you ever thought about creating a list of all the things that you have already accomplished? Of all of the things that you have already created in your life? No? Well, this is a really, really powerful self-care tip, because when you are sitting down to write a list of items that you have already achieved and accomplished, that can make you feel really good about yourself. And it helps you to organize your thoughts. So it helps you center your thoughts in some way. It helps you to be really clear on what you have done, what needs to get done next. And then from that list, you can, for example, start to prioritize what still needs to get done for the rest of the day. So celebrating your wins is a super powerful exercise, and it is really similar to practicing gratitude, because when we are writing down our wins, we really take a moment to look back at all of the things that we have already achieved and that we have already done. Something that, in my opinion, we don't do enough. So I highly encourage you to do that. And if you are curious to learn more about how to start a journaling practice or how to start a gratitude practice, I have a couple of different videos on my YouTube channel about these topics as well. And let me just say that much: if my grandma can start journaling at the age of 87 and can integrate a daily gratitude practice in her life, then you can do it too. And finally, self-care tip number 7, say no more. This is super, super important, of course, because if you want to take more time for yourself, you also need to learn to say no to others in order to create spaces for yourself, in order to have time to invest in yourself. And this can be sometimes super, super difficult, right? Because you are probably a people pleaser and you like to help other people. And maybe you even think that you really, really feel good about yourself. Maybe you even think that that's a way of how to practice self-care if you're helping other people. That is really wonderful, but let me tell you this. If you are investing time in other people, that is not how to practice self-care and how you really recharge for yourself, your own energy levels. Because even if you are doing something for other people, you are still taking energy away from yourself because you are investing time in others. So if you want to learn how to set better boundaries, I highly encourage you to watch the video on my YouTube channel and to learn more about how you can start creating boundaries in order to create more time for yourself. And of course, with that, have more time to practice self-care. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. 7 super simple tips that you can really easily integrate into your day-to-day in order to maximize your workday. And if you want to know how to get started, it's really, really simple. It doesn't have to be much. I already said that at the beginning. And I highly encourage you to ask yourself the question every single day. What did I do for myself today in order to recharge? And there should be at least one item. There should be at least 10 minutes in your day to practice some self-care. This is so, so important. And if you are curious on how to get started, you could, for example, start really simply with a morning routine. If you want to know how to create a morning routine, you can check out the video on my channel. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to share with you today. So I hope you found this video helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment down below and let me know, what did you do for yourself today in order to recharge? That's the audience question for today. I'm curious to hear what you have been doing in order to take care of yourself today, and I see you in the next video.